Blue and red lights flashed across my windshield like angry fireworks. And I swear, right then, I should have just driven off into the lake. But I didn't. I sat there in my crusty gray sedan half wishing it would disappear while Karen stood smack in the middle of the street, waving at the police cruiser like she was hailing a cab. "Officer, over here. Tow his car now." She was pointing at me, or at least my car, but trust me, it felt personal. That's how things go down at Lake Willow, our so-called slice of American peace, right in the belly of the Lake HOA, where the rules matter more than common sense and everyone pretends they're not watching, even though every curtain is twitching. Let me back up a sec. I wasn't blocking a driveway, a hydrant, nothing. My car was sitting calm as a Sunday nap right in front of my own house. I was dead on my feet after another shift at the hardware store downtown, just wanted to take my boots off, flop on the couch with my wife Lily and our dog Max. Not play character in some HOA drama. But Karen always has other plans. She's got this habit of acting like she's the main character, and the rest of us are just extras blocking her shot. The cop steps out, calm, flashlight in hand, even though the sun's still hanging low and gold over the lake. Karen's already unloading, firing off complaints so fast the words barely register. He refuses to park where I told him. He's blocking the aesthetic line. We have rules. She actually snapped her fingers. You know what I mean? Like I was a sandwich she sent back. The officer stops her with one raised hand. "Ma'am, one at a time." Turns to me. "Sir, is this your vehicle?" I say, "Yes, parked in front of my own house. Not blocking anything." I try to keep my voice steady, but my hands are shaking, and I just want out of the spotlight. That's when Karen slaps a printed HOA map at the cop, shows him her new plan for parking. Says I'm supposed to be 3 houses down, over by Birch Circle, so it looks better on our HOA Instagram. She says I refused. The officer scans the map, glances at the street. Lake behind us smells like rain, ducks drifting by. Sky peachy as a soft promise. Everything's calm except Karen, who's red in the face like a whistling kettle. Suddenly, a white HOA-branded SUV rolls up. Out steps Mr. Thompson, the HOA president in his navy blazer, and Ms. Rivera, compliance queen, with a binder so fat it needs its own zip code. Now we've got an audience. Karen's practically glowing. She thinks she's won. "You're welcome," she says, like this was a gift. Lily slips out, stands next to me, cool as ever, whispers, "Just tell the truth and breathe." Max lets out a whine, picking up on my nerves. The cop wants to see the rule in writing. Ms. Rivera flips tabs, reads aloud, "Residents may park along their own curb unless it's a driveway, hydrant, mailbox, or street sweeping day." I almost laugh out loud. Karen's smile cracks, but Ms. Rivera's not done. "Nothing here says he must park 3 houses down. Just courtesy during events." The cop turns to Karen. "Ma'am, did he break any law?" Karen opens her mouth, then just blinks. It's ugly. It ruins the look. I told him to move. He stays stone-faced. That's not a police matter. We don't enforce aesthetic lines. Mr. Thompson tries to talk about kindness, but Karen's not having it, demands fines for both of us. Says she'll call another department. She's on the beautification committee, after all, the self-declared authority. Neighbors are now out on their porches. Mr. Harris, bowl of salad in hand, Ms. Lee leaning on her cane, kids on scooters. The whole street's tuned in. Ms. Rivera's voice cuts through. "Karen, you don't have authority to order people around. And you can't call the police for HOA preferences." Karen tries the Instagram plan again. Ms. Rivera shuts her down. "You sent it. The board didn't vote." I feel Lily's hand relax in mine. Max's ears twitch. The cop hands me Karen's paper. "You're free to keep your car where it is." Karen hisses, "You'll regret this." Mr. Thompson tells her that's enough. Ms. Rivera pulls out a conduct rulebook. There's a rule about harassing neighbors and misusing city services. Suddenly, the tension's so thick you could slice it with a salad fork. Now here's the twist. The day hadn't started like this. I was painting the living room, making bad jokes to make Lily laugh, and Karen was outside, measuring mailboxes. I parked out front because the garage was full of paint. 5 minutes later, She's pounding on my door, clipboard raised, telling me I need to move. I say, "Did the board vote on this?" She says, "Doesn't matter, it's common sense." I hold the line. She threatens to call the cops. I offer to talk it out. She stomps off, phone out, dialing fast. Back inside, Lily asks if I'm okay. I think Karen's having a bad day. I tell her, half laughing, but I meant it. Peace is worth more than pride, but I also believe in fairness. We try to paint in peace, but then the sirens start up, and the whole show kicks off. The thing is, being the steady center is hard. My dad used to say, "Lakes look calm because the water at the center doesn't fight the wind." I kept my cool, answered the cop straight, didn't escalate, trusted the board. The sun dipped, the neighborhood watched, and I realized, neighborhoods aren't lines on a map. They're people, families, history, and, yeah, sometimes stubborn folks with clipboards. As the cop read out the rules and handed the paper back to me, Karen's jaw clenched. Ms. Rivera cited her $150 fine for misuse of services, plus an administrative fee, pending board appeal. Neighbors gasped. Karen insisted, "I'm just trying to make this place better." Ms. Rivera, soft but firm, said, "Karen doesn't give us permission to hurt people." The officer called off the tow truck. Karen snatched the citation and stormed off. The street slowly went back to normal. If normal means clusters of neighbors quietly dissecting the drama. Max wagging his tail. Lily leaning into my arm and telling me she's proud I stayed calm. Even Ms. Rivera invited me to join the neighborhood committee, said peacemakers matter. I just laughed. Me? That night, things got weirder. At 8:45 p.m., someone knocked hard on our door. Not cookies from Mr. Harris, nope. It was Diane, an HOA compliance auditor, clipboard, badge, the works. She said she got an emergency complaint that I was building some kind of secret structure in my garage, running a business, increasing traffic and noise. "May I inspect?" she asked. Lily challenged the late-night audit, but Diane insisted. We showed her just shelves, paint, a dog bed. She left, unfounded complaint on file. Neighbors saw it all. Karen was watching from across the street. Later, Karen showed up, eyes red, hands empty, finally owning up to the fake flyers left on every porch, her way of clinging to control. Her apology was messy but real. She said, "You're making me the bad guy." I told her, "Our goal is to live in peace." She snapped, "Peace is what people say when they want to win without a fight." The next morning, someone had scratched "Move Now" in chalk and keys into my car door. My heart sank. I didn't shout, didn't accuse, just filed a report, sent photos to the HOA, tried to keep things above water. Karen watched from across the street, playing innocent. "What happened?" she said, all sugar. "We'll handle it the right way," I answered. Later, at the friendly hearing, the board heard both sides. Karen confessed she just wanted order, clean lines, quiet streets, but admitted she pushed too hard because nobody listened. I told the truth. I want order too, but not at the expense of respect. When Ms. Lee toasted, "Here, here," it felt like hope might survive. But then Tyler, Karen's son, burst in with his phone footage of her hitting the entrance sign and driving off. She'd lied about reporting it. He broke down, admitting he was in the car and was told to keep quiet. Karen tried to defend herself, but the room turned. Truth hit like thunder. Ms. Lee, wise as ever, spoke up. "If we shout, the story will become shouting. If we listen, the story will become listening. We can break each other or mend each other." That night, after a pause and some painful apologies, the neighborhood felt the ripples of honesty. Tyler confessed he thought neat lawns meant safety, but learned that shields are heavy and sometimes, what's brave is letting go. I saw neighbors, even the grumpy ones, offer to help rebuild, not because they liked rules, but because they liked clean, and more than that, community. But healing is slow. Fake flyers about beautification parking appeared. HOA sent out a warning to ignore them. Even then, when Karen came to our door, apology in hand, you could tell she was carrying years of trying to control what couldn't be controlled. Later that night, her son got stuck between old dock pilings, nearly drowned. Karen and I pulled him free together, Lily calling 911. The dock was rotten, the wire for the lights dangling, sparking into the lake. It took all of us, quick thinking, and pure luck to escape the next accident. And just as we thought the worst was over, Mr. Thompson announced the wire was tampered with, sabotaged. Not Karen this time, but someone else. Suspicion clung to everyone, but at the next hearing, it was clear. Karen had misused services, lied about the sign, harassed neighbors, but she hadn't put us in danger. She was fined, removed from committees, but not exiled. Because, like Mr. Thompson said, we do not exile our own. We rebuild with them. Walking home under the porch lights, neighbors waving again, I felt the air shift. Karen, for the first time, seemed lighter, walls down. She said she'd bring muffins to the next cleanup day. Blueberry, of course, Lee's favorite. And the lake, calm as ever, seemed to agree. So yeah, that's how the story of Karen, the fines, the lies, and the spark that nearly burned us all didn't end in chaos, but in a messy, fragile chance at peace. And before you click off, tell me, where are you watching from? What's the wildest HOA showdown you've ever seen? Drop it in the comments, because out here in the real world, rules keep order, but kindness is what keeps us together.